One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They run it again with Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Looking to throw. Whitaker. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Khalil Mack with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Let's take it inside his own 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be Falcon football. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground. honed in on it and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throw left side. There's London. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll look to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Rose. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up, They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 28. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. 28 yards.
And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that part.
And it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. They find some open field here. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. 2nd and long.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal.
This one from 35 yards away.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Off play action. Whitaker. This is intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, the offense, Charles, they were flirting with disaster, already backed up deep in their own territory. So the interception and the pick six ensued. That was a big play.
It certainly was, and the short field gave him the rare opportunity to take it all the way back and quickly. And once he saw that he had an open field, there's no way he's going to let that opportunity slip away, and finds his way into the end zone.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Off the play fake. Whitaker rolling to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it.
And they needed two. They could only get one. Fourth down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. There'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll set up a throw.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw here.
That's going to be caught by Pitts.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
And how nice is it for him to know that when he gets outside the pocket, he's got a reliable tight end he can go to. So he's able to look his way, find his big target, and set up 1st and goal.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to lose yardage here.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football. Just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up getting spilled for a loss.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
He'll look to throw. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Kulu knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Off play action, Whitaker. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Rose. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
66 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. Operating from the gun, Whitaker. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Now a play fake here on first down.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10.
Throwing again, Whitaker.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On third down, Whitaker. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Falcons are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Right back to him on first down. Gets by him at the 25. And room there to work it inside the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
2nd and 1. This one caught by Ridley. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons are on their way to a 2-0 start. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here.
They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
125 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Falcons are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Falcons on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try to run this one in. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for Atlanta, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.